Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Mars coming at you over the interwaves with another StarCraft 2 cast. This one's sent in to me personally. If you'd like to have me cast a couple of games, then, send me a replay on marshgaming@gmail.com. That's Marsh Gaming, much like the, name of this channel you're currently listening to. We have over on this side of Apotheosis, it's Tassadar loves Kerrigan. That's a natural. Seriously, only Jimmy can make love to half Zerg human things. And his opponent is MANCRAFT. Well, I don't know. Before I say something about half Zerg humans and lovemaking, let's wait until Stukov gets back into the game. Okay, maybe there's something to be said for this. Anyway, Tassadar is today a Zerg player, and he likes making lots of money and not spending it. Going for an early expand, and his opponent going for an early pool, but with the pool in place, not doing so much with it. Oh, no, making a queen. My apologies. So I know the approximate league of both of these players, as I have casted Tassadar before. So instead of going in here and going play by play and telling you sort of what they're doing and what the strategy they're following, I will instead engage in some coaching, I suppose you could call it, some commentary on how to get better at this game. So I don't actually know which one of these people submitted it, although I'm guessing it's this guy, but I'll try to go for both of them. So MANCRAFT is getting an early army supply, whereas Tassadar is going for the early economic advantage. Now, if properly dedicated to on both sides, the economic cheese will lose to the aggressive cheese. However, MANCRAFT is just building a bunch of Zerglings over here and pulling them up and not attacking his opponent. Now, the earlier expansion on the side of Tassadar means that he's got the early economic advantage, and that means he can use that in order to get, more units later. So if you're going to do that, and then give your opponent time to use that superior economy, then he can have as many army units waiting for you when you arrive there. Now, this is not going to be the case. There's 15 army supply for MANCRAFT to 8 of Tassadar, and he's not building anything other than a couple of queens. So queens, good defensive units. He's got one here, he's got one there, and another 2 queens right there. It means that together with the 0 Zerglings he has, he's got 26 now, and a lot of them are just staying here, that he could make 2 queens versus this, not so much. You do actually want to build units. Even if you go for the early economy, then you still want to make some units, especially if you know this much. So if you are going to do an economic cheese, send your first overlord out and just send it here. You will see Zerglings coming, and these Zerglings are going to try and take down the hatchery, and that means that these queens are going to be completely unopposed in taking them down, so this is not actually that much of a challenge. The hatchery is going to lose a little bit of hit points, so if MANCRAFT ever does this again, he will have an easier time sniping this down, but this attack should do absolutely nothing. Another thing you may want to consider if you're going to go for the early aggression is, oh, you can't see my upgrades here, or your upgrades I should say, is going for the speed. So you don't have any gas right now. For 100 minerals and 100 gas, you have Zergling speed. These guys, they're not slow, but they're not fast either. Well, they're fast, regardless of which comparison you really put in StarCraft. But they get a lot better with metabolic boost, which Tassadar over here is getting. Now, he's bolstering his defenses with a couple of roaches, And if there's no speed links on the other side, this should be very good. Small amounts of roaches versus large amounts of zerglings, not so great. So if you do move out with these, and if you only move out with these, stick to corners. Stick to over here. Move from here to move to over there, and then move over there, and then, well, okay, at one point you're going to have to cross this big empty space, but you want to minimize surface area. These are melee units, these are range units, these have to actually stand next to you in order to hit you. So if these guys were to attack these guys, they would right now have all the surface area in the world, but if these guys were standing over here, then you would have that surface area. Alright, more zerglings coming in from MANCRAFT, and just in time more roaches on the way for MANCRAFT. Before this gets here, you have 2 queens here and you have 2 queens there. One of them, at one point, if you do this properly, if you learn the timing, if you learn the rhythm, one of these should always be injecting, optimizing the amount of larvae you get, and the other one can be used to creep spread. Right now, this area is slow and you don't see anything there. This area, you don't see anything there. If your opponent had put a overlord here and then built something that neither of you has built, but say an evolution core, you could get overlords to carry units, and you could carry them from here to there, and then from here to there, because these are quite a few zerlings. That would take a large number of overlords, or one overlord's a great many trips. And all your defenses, which are over here, and right now they are kind of good, and especially with these banelings coming in against these zerglings. Banelings are very good against zerglings. This attack over here would be very, very damaging indeed. So that's maybe something you wanna consider. The second thing is what I told you last time, is to always be making SCVs and or probes. Now right now you're playing a Zerg, so that's not possible. You have to choose, do I build army or do I build probes? Both of you now 28 to 14 workers. At 7 minutes into the game, this is, economically speaking, extremely weak. At this point, there are no workers here. There are no workers here. MANCRAFT just using the larva to get more zerglings. But yeah, here, 9 out of 16. You even get an indicator right here to say how many you could have. This is actually an optimal amount. So 11 to 16 here as well. And look at these. You've got 800 gas. You're not using that. You may want to take these 3 out and put them over there. And you get more minerals, which you're definitely low on. And over here, MANCRAFT finally getting his first gas. Alright, what else can we discuss? Well, roaches also have a speed upgrade. And unless I've missed it, nope. That is currently available. You've gone up to layer, that means that over here there is a speed upgrade available. Nope. Look at this one roach. That was your scouting roach. Oh, that was the number B, sorry. Going to see what is actually happening over on the other side of the map. And sees nothing but roaches. Still not much information. There's a lot of zerglings here, but still with no speed, they're not actually that dangerous. And at 8:30 into the game, you should definitely have speed, by the way. There's no excuse not to have speed, unless you were going for a very specific plan that involves not speed links. Now, there's another thing also for you. What I mentioned about Tassadar with scouting, he should have his overlords over here. You should have your overlord over here. Because if you had an overlord over here, you could see that he was now moving out. And that means this army is now completely unopposed. And I don't know if this is pure luck or how you did know that, but this is a perfect time to move in. And this is going to absolutely slaughter this army right here. Not even a question. This is a great time to move in. I'm just not sure how you knew that. And if you did know how to, or you can learn to know when to do that, but it involves scouting. You need to have that overlord here to see them moving out of the base. So decimating this mineral line, very good. Taking out his queens, also very good. That means less injects, that means no production. And here comes the army of Tassadar. And here are those banelings. Let's see what banelings do with zerglings. It looks like you're going to right click on that layer, and that is what banelings do to Zerg. which is why a very popular early in the game is the Zergling Baneling competition. Because early in the game you can only have Zerglings and Banelings, and Banelings absolutely wreck Zerglings. Alright, Tassadar no longer has any bases. He does have 15 drones and 1400 minerals, so he can now build 4 bases if he wants to. Or he can sit here, that's also good. There you go, that's one, and now he can rebuild this one. You can rebuild that one, or you can rebuild this one, what he wants. Now, what is usually done at a little bit higher level is once you've done that, you've struck a quick a damaging blow to your opponent. Think about what your opponent has left. In this case, he has a bigger army than you, so making more units is correct, and you're starting that that speed now, so that's very good. Because look, more Banelings, and you have Zerglings just running by. Oh, that is a move command. You don't want to do that. All right. Because as soon as you swat this down, there's nothing that your opponent can do, because he doesn't have any production, he doesn't have any income. All you need to do is take this out and you're fine, or in this case distract him by moving more units into his base. See how he's turning back? That's also a very good play. Now you have the freedom to drone up. Your opponent is being pulled back, or if you had engaged this, well, you would have lost due to Banelings and this many roaches. But if you had done that, you were free to roach, because your opponent doesn't have an income, it doesn't have production, and you could use that time to build some drones. Instead, you're doing this, making sure he stays down, but right now, at some point, this army, this bigger army, and look at those Banelings again. Oh, Banelings, big units, has, once again, do you have any workers left? Yes, you do. Have the option to just go across the map and kill you, because this army beats your army. 19 roaches beat 26 Zerglings, and they beat the amount of Zerglings you can get by the time you get there. You don't have... oh, you have speed. Nice. This is what I'm talking about. You want to get this fast. You want to get this with the first 100 gas you mine. Alright, let's see what happens here. You move commanded, your opponent A moved. And we're going to get this base now. That's a very nice spot. It's a ninja base. Make sure that your opponent doesn't automatically know where you are. Oh, we might have an engagement there. No, just a bunch of Zerglings that get move commanded half here. And that is more of your opponent's production down. So this is good. But your opponent still has a large number of roaches and can move into your base with little to no problem. Look at that. Zerglings against large numbers of roaches. You really want to be able to completely surround them. And instead now they're in your base. And this is going to go down, and then he's going to go up here, and then he's going to go down up there. And he's going to have to rebuild this. And you don't know where he is, because you don't know about this base. Oh, no, wait, there you go. Alright, if you can take this out before he takes out this base and this base, you will have still won. So that's good. One of the main win conditions, learn them. You can win by people GGing out, leaving the base, or with all your opponent's buildings being down. And 2 tractor, 1 extractor, GG. Alright, but... in a previous video I made for Tassadar, I put in a couple of things. I'll put a link in the description on a couple of basics on this game. It has the I don't even recall what it's called, but the checklist. You want to be building workers. As a Zerg, this is trickier than it is for Protoss and Terran, because for Protoss and Terran you can always be building workers. As a Zerg, you have to choose. you know, keep your money low. Neither of you was doing that. You have money here. In your case, it will be up here. If you have money and you're not spending it, you're doing something wrong. Build more workers, build more zerglings. If you still have money left, then you're missing production. Minecraft had 3 hatcheries. That's good. 3 hatcheries with queens, and Minecraft only just now left the game. All right, with 3 queens, which is good. To inject that way, you can get lots of units. Tassadar had 2 bases and didn't go for a 3rd base. You could go for something called a macro hatch, which is just another hatch here, because even if you inject on a regular base, and at your guys' level, you're not doing that. Don't worry about that yet. Work on it, but you know, don't worry about it. Just build another base, and that base will automatically generate larvae, and those larvae will you can then use. That because you want to have low money. Because if you have money, doesn't do anything. It's like real life. You're rich, great. Are you dead? Well, yeah, great. You have money. Your funeral will be pretty. Instead, what you should be doing, you should be doing anything with your money. At this point, you should be doing anything. It doesn't matter what yet. Don't think about it like, oh, well, you know, my opponent is going Zergling, so I should go Banelings, or I should, you know, at this point, a Mutilus switch or an Infestor switch is really good. No, you're in what's called Stuff League. Just build more stuff. If your opponent, if you think your opponent's attacking, use your extra money to make army and defend. If your opponent is not attacking, then make a choice. Use your army, your money to make more army and attack, or expand, or build drones. But do something with that money. The other thing is never get supply blocked, which happened to you a couple of times, I think. Happened to both of you a couple of times, I think. But yeah, a couple of basics. I'll put the link to the other thing, and really getting the basics before you can even worry about, you know, great place, fantastic positioning, going into the triangle of economy, aggression, or tech. These are all terms you will have to learn later. For now, try to focus on the 3 things. Like, always be building something, keep your money low, and keep an awareness of the minimap. And for heaven's sake, learn to put these somewhere where they can be of use. Other than queens, nothing that your opponent made shoots up. So if you'd put in an overlord here, you would have seen this area the entire time of the map, because nothing could have killed it. You could have gone in here and just flown into the base, see what was going on here. Also, Tassadar, you could have put something here and seen that giant swell of Zerglings being up here. Use these guys. So, spend your money, build workers, minimap awareness, which I think is the first 3 of those things. And yeah, keep learning, keep playing, keep enjoying. If you enjoyed this video, press that like button. If you'd like to see more of me, subscribe.